Welcome back. So they don't do anything quite as glamorous as this in Farmer Wants a Wife. It's all romantic dinners and campfires under the stars and stuff. Don't get that here. Real romantic stuff. We do fencing. Now, some of this fencing's not too bad. And the only reason why we're actually changing this is because this is chicken wire. And I don't think it'll hold up against cattle. And even though it looks quite good, there are parts and there's like big holes. And this section isn't quite as bad. Down the bottom section where Andy's working down there, if you can see him, is a lot worse. It is big holes and it's completely destroyed. All the way along there are different types of fencing. It's been expensive to install all that because they have big old pieces of rebar and it goes right down to where Andy is down there, so you can imagine how far that is. That would have been really expensive to install. But the only downside is it's not that strong. So I can move that with my hands. So if you can imagine a cow that's half a ton, it's going to easily go through there. It would be a lot better and easier if we could take down the old fence. However, unfortunately, this isn't our fence and we don't know who owns all the farms to the back of us. So all we can do is attach the hinge joint to the existing fence. It's now a race before we get wet. No, it'd actually be quite nice because it's bloody hot. Oh, look at that. That was a spectacular bit of lightning. Huh?
It's time to get out of here. Right, I'll see you at home.
Alrighty. Oh, you're right. Wet seat. unfortunately it's not beer o'clock yet. We still have to collect water for the animals. But if you look out over by the big trees, you can spot the lightning. We're absolutely soaked now, and it's a bit chilly, so we're looking forward to getting back inside to dry off and have dinner. Well, it's definitely raining. Got back inside just in time. Got a bit wet. But you can see the water tanks are completely full, and you can see all the water running through. The veggie patch is very happy. Absolutely surrounded in water. The beauty of this place, though, it does actually run off very quickly, so as soon as the rain will stop, all this will all disappear. And a good chance to wear my wellies. So it's been a couple of days of absolute torrential rain, and which means we can't actually do all our chores, but we have gained 900 litres of water. Even though it's raining, unfortunately we still have to do some farm chores. Now we can't actually do all the things we really wanted to do, which was fixing the fencing and stuff, but we do have to do something, and that is just feeding the animals and making sure they're safe and secure. You can see how wet and muddy it is under here, and really it should be moving day, but it's just, yes Harry, I'm coming to you too, but it was just so wet. One of the problems with their feeder, the chicks feeder, is that, if you can see it with them all jumping on it, is it fills up with water outside in the rain. It's quite annoying. So yeah, yesterday I had to literally tip out everything on the floor because it was full of water, and they just ended up with a slurry. It didn't seem to bother them, they still ate it. But they are 7 weeks, so they're really coming along now. This is our second lot of chickens. The first lot we ended up with only 2 hens, 5 roosters. We have 9 in here at the moment, and by the looks of them, only one of them's a chick. One of them's a hen, and that is that one over there. It's one of the, unfortunately, that's how it goes. It's very annoying, because really we want more hens to lay eggs, even though we plan to still utilise their roosters, because we'll eat them. But really we could do with hens. Very, very keen to get out. Morning. So this is one of the hens from the last clutch. So she's doing really well. And the others are looking a little bit sad. Now, if you wonder why these hens have red patches on where their skin, and that's purely because Harry is not the nicest person when it comes to mating. He doesn't have a gentle touch. So if anyone can tell me how I can, other than getting rid of him, which is not an option, well, there is a possible option, but is what I can do to protect the hens a bit more with the rooster. I mean, there is the option. Yeah, exactly. We could move him out for a couple of days and let them, but heal better. But I've noticed that we thought it was mites, and we thought we couldn't find any mites on her, and we thought it was maybe she was molting. But we noticed that the other hen now seems to be getting the same branding on her back wings, and we know that's where he mounts them to mate. So I think it's just that he's a bit too amorous for his own liking. Yes, you. Alright, so these are the sheeps. Yep, there's Ian. And these, we've decided to name these Rosemary and Thyme because they're twins. Because why wouldn't you? These are great. They're just coming up for food. They love pats and strokes, the usual do. And they're very, very, very cute. So it's another beautiful day and another day doing the fencing. So this is the other bit section of fence that we need to do. Got to remove some tree branches. There's some nice antlers. Not sure how we're going to deal with that. But we need to, in this side, put some posts in because this clearly is not actually doing anything. So this is the tensioner. Yeah, this is to stop it when you tighten the things. It stops everything falling to the right as such. So that's all rotten. So that's not actually doing anything. Yeah, you can see where things have just run up the fence. So this is the worst. Actually, no, this wasn't quite the worst section, but this was the second worst section. We've already done a bit of it actually, and we didn't video it because it's actually quite hard work trying to video and repair fencing. Bad enough repairing fencing at the best of times, but doing it whilst you're videoing is even harder. So all these posts aren't actually doing anything. So these are all got to be either reset and used again or just new ones in. It's all full of water as well, where it rained yesterday. That sounds nice. So it's a bit of a hard work. It's actually easier to start from scratch than it is to repair an old job, which is what we're doing. And I'm contemplating whether it's not our fence though, so we can't actually just take it down. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Got a bit of wire going through now. I don't want to cut the wire, so I'm going to have to cut the wood to get the wire out. I like to do as much work on the farm myself, but sometimes I just have to admit I need help. Sadly, being height challenged makes this job hard to do, so my knight in shining armour comes to help. In order for us to put a tension wire along the bottom to stop critters getting in, we need to strim along the fence line. Whilst I do that, Andy feeds the fence wire through the upright posts and wraps it around the strainer post. He then tightens the line with a great gadget we borrowed from a local friend, Terry, who has lent us all his tools to fix the fence up. The hinge joint fencing wire gets wrapped around the strainer post and tied back on itself.
Alright, that'll do, donkey.
Then once in position, it's tightened up and then wrapped around the far end strainer post.
So we had to cut into the ant's nest. It's quite actually spectacular. I've never seen inside an ant's nest before. Look at the size of those fellas, they're huge. Alright, that's the fence hinges put on, walls, drawers, all the way along. It's quite an effort because it's actually quite tight, the fence, so which is a good thing. So sometimes it's a two-man job to push the fence tight so that you can get under the posts. The posts aren't quite upright, the old posts. Oh, some of ours that we put in aren't upright either, but so it makes it a bit more of a challenge. Now we got to put the clips on. Not the easiest thing to do. So it's basically, it's just a giant stapler. You got to push them like that. So you do get through a lot of staples, they're a pain. Alright, I'm going to put you on time lapse because it's really, really hard to do whilst filming.
Until next time.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share.